Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is August 27th, 2026. Gonna be doing a little bit of a drive cast today. The audio usually turns out decent. My car's a little noisy. My muffler is falling off. The other day, I don't know if I told you guys about this. I was driving, and it's about, by the way, it's like 7 or almost 7 a.m. 6:45 in the morning right now. But I was driving the other day, and I hit a bump, and next thing I know, I just hear this horrible grinding sound, and pulled over, and I went outside the car to be like, what the fuck is grinding? Is it a brake? Is it a wheel? Sure enough, muffler fell off. So then luckily I was almost home. Otherwise, I would have kind of been fucked. But yeah, so I ended up driving home, just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna drive it the rest of the way home. I put a coat hanger on it. An old hillbilly trick. If you ever have a muffler that's fallen down, crawl up underneath it. You'll need a wire hanger. I know that wire hangers are kind of rare nowadays. Everything seems to be plastic now. Something is rumbling. You'll have to excuse the rumbling. It is what it is. But yeah, man, wire hanger, dude. Just wrap a wire hanger around it. Usually there's something above the muffler that you can attach the hanger to. Easy hillbilly trick. Am I gonna fix the muffler? No. I did see, though, a little bit of conspiracy stuff that's related. It kind of ties in with flock cameras. I think it's the same company. This is all off the top of the dome, but I heard it and seen it in passing that some sort of bill was signed or something to where they're gonna set up something along the lines with flock camera, where it has like microphones and audio that it can like pick up noise. So now they're gonna be able to track and find you with a D if your car is too loud. So it's so insane, man. It's getting to the point where you're not gonna be able to fart without the government going like, oh, did you eat steak last night? You know? It's fucking nuts, man. It's getting Orwellian with this flock camera shit. So I mean, there'll come a day, you know, that I'm gonna get fined for my car being too loud. And they're making it to where it's gonna be illegal to be poor, because I'm sure there's gonna be some snarky comment like, well, why don't you just get it fixed, man? It's like, I ain't got the money for that fucking shit. You know, I'm a construction worker. My wife works at a gas station, you know. I don't know. It's Orwellian. But the other day, something else I heard was there's a new type of COVID. I forget what they called this one. They always have some weird ass name like Delta, or this one's Alpha, you know. It's Lambda. So apparently there's a new type of COVID that's going around. And I don't know if you guys remember, I got sick probably about a week or two ago. I think it was about 2 weeks ago I got sick, and I kind of went over it talking about it. My throat was fucking killing me. I thought it was strep throat, because because Sammy comes down with strep every now and then I get it from her. And I had a coworker with strep throat, and I shared a Coca-Cola with them, not thinking about it. But apparently this new COVID, one of the symptoms is they literally call it razor blade throat. And I had kind of got into it. I didn't get into how fucking gross it was. Like, my throat was fucking killing me for like 3 days, man. And day 2 of it, why are you squealing out, dude? So day 2 of it, I was at work, man, and it was a rough day, man. I felt like shit. I could barely fucking breathe. I couldn't catch my breath, and yes, I know cigarettes don't help. I've had pneumonia 4 times. I have asthma. I'm fucking retarded, okay? But I just love cigarettes. And my therapist told me, like, literally, she's like, I'm not supposed to say this, but don't ever quit smoking, because, like, you will end up murdering someone. You'll end up in prison. I'm like, yeah, I know. She's like, quit drinking, quit all that other stuff, but do not stop smoking cigarettes. And that was like the first time I've ever had a medical professional like, don't quit smoking. But like the second day, dude, I had the worst fucking luck because, and I'm not like talking shit or nothing, but my boss, that was one of the days he chose to like burn wood, and it was like going into the shop and I could barely breathe as it was. My boss, my other boss, because it's a father-son, my other boss, my buddy Kyle, he's like, dude, don't even come in. And I'm like, I'm already halfway here, bro. Too late. Because it's like a 45-minute drive to work, you know. So I was like, too late, bro. I'm already halfway here. But he was talking to me, and I was just hacking up coughing the entire day, could barely fucking breathe, to the point I was seeing stars, getting dizzy, low energy, man. That's why I was like, dude, this ain't some hangover, this ain't nothing like that, this is something weird. And he's talking to me, and I hack something up in my throat, and I'm just gonna be straight up, dude. Get ready to throw up. But this, whatever it was, man, that was in my fucking throat, it had the texture of like meat, like, but slime, almost like a booger, dude, but like gigantic, like the size of a fucking pea, man. And I'm just gonna park here, fuck it. And it tasted like fucking mold. And I like chewed it for a second. I'm like, ugh. And he was talking to me, and I wanted to like spit it out of my hand, and because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dude, I wanted to see what the fuck just came out of me. But he was talking to me, and then I ended up like swallowing it because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to spit it out in front of him and then him see like this ungodly alien creature that I just ejected from my fucking throat. But it's hard to tell, man. So I had like autoimmune deficiency, and this doctor I talked to, she said I have tonsil stones. I've had 2 doctors look at my throat, and they're like, dude, you got tonsil stones. Let me go in here real quick, and I'll get back with you. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. I wonder, would you guys hit me up in the comments? Would you guys rather see me or the road? The only reason I ain't showing the road when I leave the house is I don't want you guys knowing where I live. Not that I don't trust my listeners, but I don't trust just random people on the internet, you know. Let's see if I, yeah, you can see the road. Let's do some road. You can hit me up in the comments if you guys would rather see me or the road. But anyways, dude, so tonsil stones. If you don't know what tonsil stones are, because there's like these weird people who have fetishes. I call it a fetish, really. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a fetish, because some people aren't sexualizing it. Like, my mother was obsessed with popping zits. And she loved watching people pop zits, or like, you know, cyst and shit like that, ingrown hair. She loved that shit. It's gross. It's literally stones that grow in the back of your throat. And I have seen like tonsil stone removal videos. I've had my wife try to remove some of mine using a chopstick, just like poking around the area to like get it to come out. I can't do it, man. I just start gagging and shit. But yeah, dude. And tonsil stones are fucking disgusting, man. My buddy Andy has them. He has a YouTube channel. I think it's called The 90s Are Rad. Go check him out, by the way. He's cool. I grew up with him, and he was my best friend down in Florida. It's kind of funny. We both ended up being YouTube content creators, you know. But yeah, dude. And like, they stink, man. My boss had them, and she had like one of the same. I didn't know I had them until I went to the doctor, you know, when I had pneumonia. And they checked out my throat, and the lady was like, dude, you got tons of tonsil stones. I'm like, what? I am a smoker, so I imagine that's probably, that doesn't help, you know. I know it's an autoimmune thing. My boss, I'm all over the place this morning. I hope you're enjoying it. This is just me off the top of my dome, just random talking. But my boss, she had an experience to where when she discovered she had them, she was just sitting there and just coughed one out and spat out literally the tonsil stone, you know. And she's like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, it's a little white rock. And she sniffed it and crushed it. and she was like, oh, this stinks. I'm like, yeah, dude. She uses a water pick on hers. So it's hard for me to tell when I have tonsil stones, because I have tonsil stones. It's hard for me to tell when I'm sick, man, honestly. And living with autoimmune deficiency sucks, because I always slightly feel like crap. And maybe that's just part of getting older. It's kind of hard to tell, because, you know, it's everyone's first time getting older. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to ask like other older people, like, do you just feel like shit all the time? So like with autoimmune deficiency, I always slightly feel like shit. So when I'm actually sick, it's hard to fucking tell. My wife's like, do you think you're sick? I'm like, honey, it is so hard. I've given up on figuring out if I'm sick. Cause like I always feel just kind of like shit, man. But anyways, like living with tonsil stones, it's hard for me to tell when my throat's fucked up. Like sometimes I lose my voice. I don't know. There's a lot of throat issues that run in the family. Like my mom has nodules in her throat. I have a couple knots in mine. I haven't had them checked out because I don't have health insurance. And I'm a chain smoker, and I, you know, used to be a super heavy drinker. Like I probably have fucking throat cancer. You know, it is what it is. I do have to say this though, man. I was like, dude, that means I'm gonna have to stop podcasting. But I don't know. RFK Jr., you guys know me. I'm gay for RFK, but he still does podcasts and shit. So I'm like, well, fuck it, man. If he can with his voice like this, like, I would still podcast, you know. I just worried that I'd have to get one of those holes in my throat with the robot voice, and then I would quit podcasting, you know, which would break my heart, but it is what it is. So there's this new COVID strain, and I don't know how to feel about it. Once I heard the term razor blade throat, I was like, did I catch the new COVID strand? Because I did like physically feel all of what the symptoms of COVID would be, like shortness of breath, lack of energy, not so much like my wife had a fever. That's another thing too. I don't know if it's autoimmune deficiency related, but I always run super hot. Like my wife loves snuggling with me because she gets cold easily, like most women, you know. And she calls me her little heater because I just always run hot, and like sometimes like I just like, dude, get off of me. Like I love you, I want to snuggle, but like I'm literally burning up over here. And my daughter is the same way. Like when me and her used to take naps together, I kid you not, we would both wake up pouring sweat, dude, because she runs super hot, I run super hot. So I don't know what causes it, why we're like that, you know. That's why I'm not super concerned about it, because where my daughter is like the exact same way, she'll wake up just pouring sweat. I'm like, okay, it's something that we have, like either genetically or I don't know. But here's the thing, man. I don't know how I feel about viruses. Obviously, this is a conspiracy podcast, and I would love to hear what people think about viruses in the comments section. I didn't really question viruses until one of the things was the movie 12 Monkeys. If you've never seen 12 Monkeys, dude, as a conspiracy theorist, what are you doing with your life? You got to see that movie. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you need to watch 12 Monkeys. A lot of it reminds me of the pandemic, COVID-19. I talked about it a lot during that time period. I'm like, I would bring it up to people like, dude, this reminds me of 12 Monkeys, you know? But there's a scene where Brad Pitt, spoiler alerts, Brad Pitt, he's like batshit crazy in this movie. And he's in a mental institution, and he's going on some rant about soap, which I find it kind of funny because he's going on this rant about soap, and then later on in life he ended up being a soap salesman in Fight Club, which I thought was interesting. It's funny how the world is, like synchronicities. But anyways, he's ranting about soap and how the creator of soap, like basically he says like he doesn't believe in germs or viruses, and the guy who made soap became like a billionaire probably, off of the fear of invisible things that crawl all over you. And here's the thing, dude, like I grew up in like a strange family. Like my eldest brother had he went through a phase when he was younger in high school where he was like really big into science and shit. Like he had like science textbooks, and he had a microscope, which was kind of cool as a kid because like he would just put up like a clear slide or something and you could see germs and shit. So I mean, I know there's something there. What it is, I don't fucking know. I don't know what a germ is. I mean, there's like little creepy crawly things that crawl all over shit. Sorry buddy, I would stop and help you, but I gotta go to work. So I don't know what it is though, but I think sometimes we see something and we just give it a name. Like, what those little creepy crawly things are, I have no fucking clue. I've heard also too that they've never actually isolated a virus. People, like I've argued with people, they've said, yeah, they've isolated COVID-19, and they showed this like shit little image of it, right? Most of the images are AI, but I've actually found the original image of them isolating, quote unquote, COVID-19. Here's the thing that people forget to mention, though, is the only way that they were able to isolate it was, I think they added like something to it, like a protein, it was either a spike protein or they added a protein to make it to where they can identify it, quote unquote. So it's like, dude, you had to add something to it to identify it. Like, I just find it very interesting. I don't know, it reminds me, like, the whole terrain, that's what it's called, by the way, terrain theory. The whole terrain versus virus thing, it reminds me of the moon landing. So the moon landing, you got people who believe it, the blue pill people. You got people like me who don't believe in any of it. And then you got this rare little group of people. My wife is one of these. We've argued about it. Like, I cannot tell you how many times me and my wife have argued about the moon landing. I love being married to a conspiracy theorist, you know? And me being one, like, we're an awesome couple, because, like, most couples are arguing about, like, finances and, you know, oh, you slept with the neighbor 10 years ago, or, you know what I mean? Marital issues, like normal shit. And here's me and my wife on a road trip. They didn't go to the fucking moon. How the fuck did they leave them? You know, how did they film themselves leaving the moon? Nixon called on a landline? Are you kidding me, Sammy? Well, it was a secret space program. That footage is all fake, but they still went to the moon with the secret space program. You know? I just love it. But yeah, she believes in, like, the secret space program. So, like, there's, like, 3 branches of the moon landing shit. With the virus shit, like, because I wonder, like, okay, if viruses aren't real, what about the Wuhan lab, the lab leak shit? So does that mean all that shit was just, like, they made up, like, fake documents? Which they can do. I wonder how much of these conspiracies, like, the documents that we see and as conspiracy theorists, we use as proof of, like, see, this proves they were making viruses in a Chinese lab and Dr. Fauci's connected. And it's like, what if that's all a psyop, dude? Anyone can type anything on a piece of paper and make it look official. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm trying to say here? Like, everyone's like, dude, you gotta have a paper trail, you know? You gotta follow the paper trail and look into the documents. What is it that Alex Jones, he's always, I've got the documents, you know? And he does. If you look at his desk, he's always got stacks of paper, you know? He's got the receipts, but there's a part of me that's like, what if those documents are just bullshit? And it's sad because, like, there's this new COVID strand, supposedly, but, like, I have no trust in the government, man. You know, look at the alien disclosure shit. Like, this is something, as an old school conspiracy theorist, we should all be, like, super stoked and celebrating it, you know? Like, oh my God, we're finally getting alien disclosure. But no one's stoked because no one trusts the fucking government anymore, dude. I remember being an old school conspiracy theorist, like, into the old shit, like the Area 51 and alien autopsy video and shit. And I feel like they're pulling off the alien disclosure too late. These old elites are out of touch, man. If they would have pulled this off in the 90s, the whole releasing the alien files and alien disclosure, I would even say early 2000s. If they pulled it off in the 90s or early 2000s, they probably could have pulled off ruling the world completely with fake aliens and shit. Like, people would have believed it. But COVID-19, they fucked themselves with the pandemic because no one trusts them. No one believes any of it. I mean, obviously, you got, like, those fucking very small percentage of retarded people who are like still not awake, but it's just they fucks themselves, man. No one believes anything they fucking say anymore. This school bus, man. I'm getting back over here. I'm trying to get past you, dude. And I don't know, man. I'm very agnostic on the terrain theory. Like sometimes I'm like very terrain theory, and then sometimes I wonder, like, is there such thing as viruses? I don't know. But yeah, dude, I just wanted to talk about, you know, this new COVID strand they got going on. I don't think they could pull off another virus thing, because, like, okay, after COVID, that put all the people on in the conspiracy realm on edge of, like, you know, with monkeypox. We all thought, oh shit, they're releasing all these trucks, seem to be, and there was like 2 or 3 cases, once again, 12 monkeys, of like these trucks that would crash, and then there would be chimps and monkeys like released into the wild. And oh my god, they got monkeypox, you know? So we're like, oh, here they go. You know, they're gonna pull off some 12 monkey script shit, you know? Here's the next pandemic. And it never happened. And then I even reported on it, the whole hantavirus situation. Which, by the way, that whole cruise ship thing is sketchy as fuck, man. Me and Mirror D80s kind of talked about it. We did an episode on it. Go check that episode out. I'll link it below in Spotify if I can remember to, because I ain't gonna be posting this until like after work. But yeah, dude. So then that didn't fall through. I don't know. I think they woke up too many people with COVID-19. Do I think that... here's my theory with it. I think they were going to try to pull off complete New World Order, Orwellian state, lock down the world, and it ties in exactly with the Great Reset. I think they were trying to pull off the Great Reset, and don't get me wrong, a lot of motherfuckers were falling for it, but there was a lot of people who were just like, nah, dude, nah, we ain't doing this, dog. I think enough of us, you and I included, the listener and I, stood up and said, no, fuck this shit. My wife has a thought that maybe they were like just doing an experiment to see if they could pull it off. I personally think that they were trying to actually pull it off. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whether it was an experiment to see how many people would go along with the Great Reset, or if they were actually just trying to do the Great Reset, either way, it wasn't right of them to do it, man. I don't know, let me know your thoughts though, but let me know your thoughts on viruses too. There's this new COVID strand that's going around. I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about my thoughts when I heard the razor blade throat symptom. I'm like, I might have had this new COVID strand, you know? But then there's a part of me that, do I even believe in viruses? I don't know, man. You know, I'm the same way with flat earth. I'm very agnostic, like, and I hate to be that way. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some person in the comment section who's like, you're a fence sitter, you know? I don't see the issue with going, hey, I don't know, there's that flock camera, guys. See it? I don't see the issue with going, I don't know. To me, that's a humble response. That's a non-egotistical response of just like, I don't know, dude. I have no clue. But yeah, man, I'm agnostic on the shape of the earth. I am a geocentrist. I always think that the possibility is the earth is like 500 times bigger than we actually think. That's why it would appear flat. But I've never really did a deep dive on my feelings about terrain theory. I mean, sometimes I listen to shit and like, I'm almost a terrain theorist, but then there's a part of me that's like, I don't know though, man. What if, you know? I see both sides, you know, and I've got a brother who's a conspiracy theorist, and he's also super high up in the nursing industry. Like he's like one step below a doctor, and he's even like, bro, viruses are real, you know. But I don't believe in nuclear bombs. I believe in fire bombs, but I don't believe in nuclear bombs. But yeah, dude, they're trying to ramp it up again. More fear porn, more propaganda, new strain of COVID. I just wanted to do an episode on it, talking about the new strain of COVID. That's probably what I'll name this episode. I know I was all over the place, but that essentially is the talking point that I was trying to make, is there's a new strain of COVID. They're trying to get us all to freak out about it. Do not fall for it. Obviously, I'm not talking to my audience, because you guys are already awake, but if there's a person who's on the fence and purple-pilled, who's like almost fully awake, don't fall for this shit, man. Don't start masking up. Don't get into the vaccine craze. Like, just chill. Everybody just chill, you know. I gave this speech before the pandemic of like, everyone just chill. If we all just ignore it and chill, they can't pull off the spell, you know. No one listened. Everyone went batshit. But yep, new strand of COVID, and it's razor blade throat. That's one of the symptoms. But yeah, I don't know. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, by the way, got a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, I'll snail mail you a Conspiracy Corner podcast bookmark. Obviously, I'm driving, so I can't show you what it looks like. I will, I'll sign the back of it. Unless you don't want it signed, then I won't sign it. You can message me through Buy Me a Coffee. Honestly, man, this is free content. None of my shit's behind a paywall, so it's kind of like a tip jar, man. If you like what I'm doing, I put in my hard-earned cash into this, so yeah, hook me up if you like what I'm doing. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. I do read them, and I do comment back. Also, if you're on Spotify, I always put out a poll for every episode that you can do the poll. I like to read the polls off sometimes on episodes, you know. And honestly, dude, every now and then I do a responding to comments video. So if you're long-winded or something, I might make an episode on you, you know, talking or responding to you. Love y'all. Y'all have a good day.